Me stew.
It's by Shel Silverstein. I have nothing to put in my stew, you see. Not a bone or a bean or a black-eyed pea.
So I'll just climb in the pot to see if I can make a stew out of me.
I'll put in some pepper and salt, and I'll sit in the bubbling water. I won't scream a bit.
I'll sit while I simmer. I'll smell when I'm stewing. I'll taste myself often to see how I'm doing.
I'll stir me around with this big wooden spoon.
And serve myself up at 1:45.
So bring out your stew balls.
You gobblers and snackers.
Farewell, and I hope you enjoy me with crackers.
Yay! This is a poem by Jeff Moss, My Parents' Party. I want to stay up for my parents' party. I've got to stay up for my parents' party. I need to stay up for my parents' party. I don't want to be in bed snoring.
They let me stay up for my parents' party. They let me stay up for my parents' party. And now I'm here at my parents' party, and it's very, very boring.
It's Gross to Kiss by Callie Dacos.
Sandy's in love with Timmy, and Timmy's in love with Sue.
Sue's in love with Jimmy. Jimmy with Sarah LaRue. I'm not in love with anyone. I'm far too young for this. Besides, I think it's germy, gross, and yucky to kiss.
I'm Thankful by Jack Polutsky.
I'm thankful for my baseball bat. I cracked it yesterday. I'm thankful for my checker set. I haven't learned to play. I'm thankful for my mittens. I lost them in the snow. I'm thankful for my basters. They escaped a month ago. I'm thankful for my basketball. It sprung another leak. I'm thankful for my parakeet. It bit me twice last week. I'm thankful for my basketball. I crashed into a tree. I'm thankful for my roller skates. I scraped it last week. I'm thankful for my model plane. I'm missing a dozen parts. I'm thankful for my target game. I'm sure I'll find the darts. I'm thankful for my bathing suit. It came off in the river. I'm thankful for so many things, except of course for liver. Football's Monopoly by
Topaz.
Caleb.
Improv.
The goal of the game is get each of your pieces to home before your opponent does. Chest and chances.
Chest? Well, chest and chance, if you land on it, you draw the card, and then you answer the question that it says, and then you move up however many spaces it says for you to move.
Hospital, then if you previously got ice pack, then
From the chance at chest.
spot, then you don't have to go. You get out of the hospital, or you don't have to go to the hospital.
Some things I like.
Number 5, first down. If you roll the die and you land on
Like the neatness and not that much arguing with my teammates.
I would change the neatness of the coloring, and I would change. I think the words are a little small, so I changed that to make it bigger.
Well, you boys did a great job. It's a really, really well done game. Let's give them a big hand, everybody. Nice job.
This is a slideshow about John F. Kennedy. This is his childhood. John F. Kennedy was born on May 29th, 1917. When he was 2.5 years old, he got scarlet fever, a deadly illness. When he was in bed, he read books about history and wrote. Jack, his nickname, had 5 sisters and 3 brothers. Jack was always in the shadow of his brother. At John's father's summer house every morning, they would do exercises. It was like a summer camp. When he was 10, Jack's allowance was 40 cents. That was a lot of money at that time. When John was a Boy Scout, John asked his dad for a bigger allowance because he needed more money for the Boy Scout materials like canteens, haversacks, and blankets. Youth. After he graduated from Troy, instead of going to Harvard, where his dad went for college, he went to Princeton. In 1937, Jack's dad was made ambassador for Great Britain. Even though Jack and his father were far away from each other, Jack still visited his father. In World War II, Jack was accepted into the U.S. Navy. In the spring of 1943, John had command of PT-109, a patrol boat in the Pacific Ocean to stop Japanese destroyers. After 5 months of searching enemy ships, a Japanese destroyer bombed and tore the ship. John ordered his men to swim to Plum Pudding Island. He refused to leave Patrick McMahon, who was badly burned to die. During his time at the Navy, he caught malaria, which is a serious disease that causes fever, chills, sweating, and vomiting. Adult life. In 1946, Jack decided to run for Congress from Boston on the Democratic ticket. When Jack won the primary, his grandfather danced a victory jig on the table. Jack won the election, so in January 1947, he headed off to Washington, D.C. to serve in the House of Representatives. Jack wanted a higher position, so he ran for senator, and he won with 51.5% of the vote. At a dinner party in 1951, he met Jackie Lee Bowyer, called Jackie. On September 12, 1953, John and Jackie were married. Jack wanted to become president, and he won the election for president. He was the first Catholic and youngest president ever. President life. While John was living in the White House, his family brought in many animals into the White House. His daughter Caroline even had her own pony named Macaroni. He eagerly supported space exploration. He promised by the end of the 1960s an American would land on the moon. In 1962, John Glenn became the first American to orbit Earth 3 times. It took him 4 hours and 55 minutes. John believed that the United States was the richest nation in the world, so they should help other poor nations. So he set up Food for Peace. He also created Peace Corps. Men and women volunteered to spend 2 years in needy countries where they helped build schools, water wells, health centers, and other projects. Fidel Castro. After Jack took office, there was a plan to overthrow Fidel Castro. He was the leader of the communist government in Cuba. John okayed the plan to invade Cuba. An army of exiled Cubans landed at Cuba's Bay of Pigs. The invasion was a complete failure. 1,000 men were captured and imprisoned in Cuba. Others were killed. The greatest crisis of John F. Kennedy's presidency. The greatest crisis of John's presidency began on the morning of October 16, 1962. Cuba had put missiles in Cuba that would strike the U.S. Some of John's advisors wanted him to bomb the missile sites, but John decided to blockade Cuba. He gave orders for 180 American ships to sail into the Caribbean. The ships formed a line 500 miles long. Jack spent the next few days talking with the Soviet Union's leader, Nikita Khrushchev. Nikita agreed to remove the missiles, helping the Euros. In 1962, a black student named James Meredith tried to register for a class at an all-white University of Mississippi.
The governor, Ross Barnett, denied him to attend the all-white school. The next day, President Kennedy called in National Guard troops to stop a riot and protect James Meredith. Within days of making John's speech about blacks and whites, he planned a new civil rights bill. No longer did blacks have to go to different movie theaters, restaurants, hotels, and stores. This Civil Rights Act became a law in 1964, less than 8 months after John F. Kennedy's death. JFK wanted a second term. By late 1963, John was already thinking about his camp again. He decided to travel to Texas, the home of Vice President Lyndon Johnson. Jack planned to make speeches to a group of businessmen at the Trade Mart in Dallas. He was greeted in Dallas by a huge cheering crowd while he was in a limo. He saw a sign saying, "President, will you stop and shake my hand?" So Jack asked the driver to stop, and then he shook the girl's hand. While Jack was in the limo, he got shot by a man named Lee Harvey Oswald. The car sped through the streets to the nearest hospital, but it was too late. About the creator. I like Kiwis. I like the San Jose Sharks. I like the Warriors. I go to Harker. I like Clash Royale. My favorite sport is baseball. I like the Yankees and the Giants. I live with my mom, dad, and my brother. I like using technology. I play baseball and basketball. Book I used. Title: Who is John F. Kennedy? Author: Yana Zeldis McDonough. Publisher: Rossett and Dunlap. Copyright date: 2005.
Lunch Money by Carol Shields. Don't ask Dad, he never has any.
Grandma's purse has a nickel and a penny.
Mom has 5, but the car needs gas.
Oh my god. A dirty quarter someone found on the grass.
Checked all our pockets, nothing but gum.
Piggy bank, here I come.
Over the year, I think I've improved on memorizing what to say in my presentations and poems that I do. And I think I need to focus on bringing more props in and doing more actions, because it will make the presentation or poem more interesting.